Well, welcome back, Beowulf Nation. It's I'm Beowulf, back at it with another video. So if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Existing subscribers, hit the bell notification. I'm doing free monthly giveaways. Totally free to enter, really easy to do. Be subscribed to I Am Beowulf. Be subscribed to my second YouTube channel, Beowulf Nation. And then you either have to follow me on Instagram, IAM_Beowulf, or give me a follow on my Facebook page, I Am Beowulf. And I'm doing, with the free monthly giveaways, giving away a free Jet Tribe Life Vest, and I'm picking somebody at the end of the month. I'm only doing like 1 to 2, maybe live streams a month, but basically the end of the month live stream will be announcing the winner for each monthly giveaway. So it's totally free to enter. You got to do those 3 things. If you don't, you're not entered. So I like to get back and giving free stuff, so everybody likes that. Everybody likes to get a fresh Jet Tribe Life Vest. This has got an interesting video. So I got my SXR 1500 Sponsons pulled off, right? Now, a lot of people will be, when you're buying one of these stand-ups for your first time, these parts aren't easily that cheap. So I kind of like one on some people's opinions of what stuff I bought, and I ended up finding that I did not like how it handled the ski myself. Everybody's different because the stand-up is a whole different animal. Everybody's body structure is different, stance is totally different. It's not like a sit-down jet ski. You're basically sitting, and you know the Sponsons are just going up and down. They're not moving forward and back. A stand-up, there's a lot, and a lot will change. I mean, I tried the Watercross, the Texas intake grate, the ride plate. I found the intake grate, we were having a lot of debris in the intercoastal. Basically, a long story, made sure where I ride, there's super strong current underwater, which you go anywhere else to ride, the thing rides like a dream, and you come back to where you home to ride, and the thing's just a nightmare to ride. They're known to have a bad wobble, death wobble, and basically had Riva Racing Sponsons in here that made it on the intercoastal waterway in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, like almost unrideable at most times. There'd be sometimes you come out there, you couldn't stand up if you're like dependent on it. The ski's just going violently like this with no waves in the water. It's just the current underwater is that strong. So they're known to have a wobble. The stock Sponsons are like, at least it has Sponsons when it comes stock, than like the Superjet and stuff. And it looks totally well without having Sponsons on it. So I first tried with the R&D Sponsons right here, right? Now you don't have that much adjustments. As you can see, you can go forward or back, but nothing else. And I found with these, I wasn't, you know, like totally sold on them, because I could tell sometimes riding, and then I ended up finding, because I bought the ski used, and I ended up having it where I had the steering cable got bent, like right up in here. So originally, I thought it was the Sponsons causing the issues from the start. What ended up being the steering cable was bent. Like, so there's this like plastic piece right in here, and this wasn't moving. It was actually like jamming it up. So when I took my second trip up to the Midwest, all I could do was turn right. I think it was like could turn right. You could not turn left. It was unbelievable. I could ride the thing where it could only steer one direction with no problem, but you couldn't turn one other way. And then that's what's confusing when you come home and you can't ride it. So it has such a, it feels like it's just out of control. You feel like you have no control of the ski at all when you're riding. And it was doing the death wobble even with the Riva Racing Sponsons when you're in a kneeling position, which you should have 100% control no matter where you're riding, right? So I got rid of those using them because I was like, well, I need one to have a little bit more adjustment. Now the crazy thing, all the 3 brands I'm showing you here, they're all about pretty much the exact same amount of money. So not one's way cheaper than the other. And we're looking here, sizes are, look at this. When you're looking at the Riva Racing Sponson, look how tiny it is. Here, let me grab the other one with the JC Racing. Look at the size difference. I mean, it's unbelievable how tiny. And you can see how many adjustments. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 adjustments going up and down right here. So more than what the Riva Racing one has. Obviously a lot bigger. The big plus too is this is all aluminum. That's billet, plastic. So I tried the Riva Racing Sponsons because I thought, well, you know, hey, you know, we'll see what they have. Because I looked at the WORX Racing ones. They didn't have it. They were just, they would go up and down, but they weren't able to move forward and back. And the crazy thing, when I ordered them from Riva Racing, I asked them if they could go forward and back. They claimed they're in a fixed position, but in photos it looked like it wasn't. And then when I got them, they were adjusted. So I was like kind of confused with the people selling it. They didn't even know what they had going on, which I don't like these at all. I mean, if you're in a lake and you're just trying to get something minor, I guess these would work. But with high current, they're so tiny compared to what other ones. I mean, if people want with bigger fins, it's obviously the ski needs it, right? Now, I was just fed up. I had the ski up for sale. I will not sell it. If these, I haven't installed these yet. If JC Racing comes in with a W with this thing being rideable, I'm not going to probably sell it. I'm going to keep the ski. But right now, from running this, I don't even like riding it. Because where I ride it in Intercoastal Waterway, we got alligators, which an alligator has been close to this thing, very close, like feet off of it. And the alligator was about the head was about the size of the white hood. So yeah, that's pretty scary. And then I've taken the ocean twice, and then we go in the ocean, we got bull sharks, alligators again. So we have bull sharks in the freshwater because it ties in with the ocean, right? And then we got tiger sharks, and then we got great white sharks. In this one spot where I went, I've seen great white sharks like 3 times at that spot. So think of riding this with a great white shark that is like, what, 3 to 4 times the length of the whole entire stand-up. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And there's other species of sharks too, but I mean, there's hammerheads, and you know, we got sea turtles. Anything could pop. I was actually just took an ocean ride with this, and I had a pod of dolphins shoot right in front of me. So literally, you're riding, you never know what could pop out in front of you. So you got to have somewhat control when you're riding the ski. And then the intercoastal is really narrow. So when you're out there and it feels like you don't have control, is if one thing went wrong and you fell off of it, the ski will travel quite far, which is scary. Someone might attack you. But the biggest thing is you don't crash in some other boat, or you don't crash in some dock and your ski is just completely destroyed. So that's why I'm a little bit worried about that. So I did a little research, and I reached out to JC Racing, and I bought these. So none of this stuff was sent for free. I used my hard-earned money with getting it. And one thing I was a little sold on theirs is they have a mid-sponson, right? So they have one that's illegal with the racing that would mount into this plate, and then you drill onto, you take out the rivets there, and that's how that one is. Well, this one is where it's adjustable. So this, I don't think this one is race legal with, in certain series with running this, but it gives you more adjustments. So this isn't hooking into this. This is going to be where you're going into the existing rivets that you'll drill out the rivet and then bolt this in there and have more adjustments wherever this will be. So basically when this is on, this is going to be, you know, about, I think, well, give or take right about here. So we're having like a samurai sword here, basically. When you're looking already, I'm pretty positive, when you're looking at this, this back plate will give or take, it's about the same. It's not as, this is probably a little bit bigger. And then they have this blocking plate. I just installed that onto there because that's what would be, if you have the legal one, it would come like, I actually have a photo. So everybody understands what I'm talking about. So this is the one that would be how it would be for the race legal one. So you can kind of see with it. And then it's a little bit more complicated to install it because it's basically, I think it's hooking into some of the rivets, or you have to have it mount a certain way so it's completely straight. JC Racing was honest with me that it might not fix what the issue because nobody's really designed any products for really high current. So I said, what the heck, let's just try it. Let's see what all happens, right? Because you have nothing to lose. I mean, I own this ski outright. You know, like I really like the stand-up. I really don't want to sell it. But if it's that hard to ride because of where I'm living, he joked around, he said I should move to San Diego. As cool as that would be to move somewhere else, like to where it's stuff won't eat you in the water, but the problem is the closest lake is about 2.5 hours away, and you go there. South of me, of Myrtle Beach, there's had a lot of fatalities with alligator attacks, and basically where all these fatalities have happened is in lakes, and it's where I would be heading if I wanted to go ride a lake. I obviously don't want to go where there was just recently a woman, where that area where you'd be heading where these lakes are, woman was on the news and a woman said her dogs are barking at her front door and there was an alligator at her front door. So yeah, obviously we'll stay away from those places with riding with a stand-up, right? When I went to the Midwest, you fall off, nothing's gonna pull you under. Here, something might pull you under. So I figured to try this. So we basically have a huge amount of adjustments here from going up and down with where we're going to put these sponsons. So I mean, basically, you know, you have a lot of play. We'll line up the bolts. So you can have the sponson be from like here all the way to back here, and then you can have it, you know, where it's high and low as you want. So the nice thing is it really does adjust how much this fin actually is going into the ski. I think when I mount it up, I'm probably going to be like basically in the halfway mark, as low down as it could go. But I really think this is the ticket. I really like it too, that it's aluminum. And if I like it how it really works, I might do this stuff and get it powder coated like a custom color, maybe like a green that matches the color of the ski is what I'm planning on doing. But I figured to share this with a video because I know a lot of people probably out there, you know, either you got to stand up, and how many people have all three of these at once? And I'm selling both the R&D and the Riva one, but I'm kind of glad this all came so you guys can actually see. It's kind of crazy. This whole lineup is literally the size of length of two sponsons. The back plates is basically what we're going to be running this whole entire thing with JC Racing. So I'm curious, and there'll be future videos of what I'm going to do with this. Actually, the next video after this is going to be the install video installing this. Yeah, I'm looking pretty excited to test this out. And probably we got the crazy thing is that we had a hurricane that came, or a tropical storm that came through here. So the rivers are flooded right now, but the ocean was I went out there yesterday, and the water was like the lowest I've ever seen in the ocean ever before. It's kind of crazy, like really low. Like a pontoon boat was like stuck way on land, way far away from, it's like, what's going on? So it's kind of weird when that's all happening. But yeah, I figured to share this, and I'm hoping that, you know, this helps somebody when you're looking side by side, because actually, I tell you, when I got these, I was shocked how tiny they were. And like this one, thickness wise, is probably the thinnest. I'd say that's probably the thickest. Give or take, these two are about, yeah, the R&D one's the thickest. I was shocked that the R&D didn't have, for how big this plate is, more adjustments with it, you know, where you could move the thing. You know, basically, it's not really that much adjustments. That's just a tad, which I'm really shocked. So I'm feeling when somebody designs something like this, is they found that sometimes the sponson being up farther forward really does make a difference. And I'm really curious to see how the ski will handle, because I know with when I had the Riva and when I was in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, I felt the most stable of the ski is when it had it all the way far forward, then all the way in the back. And it felt the same way too when I had the R&D, having it as far forward then as far back. So that's basically, I'm not going to go too far forward because we got the mid sponson. I'm going to probably be like literally, probably this bolts is what I'm going to try it the first time, and then figure out going for that. I'm probably going to have as low as it can go, and seeing how the grip level. Because what happens is whenever you hit, even it happened when I was on the ocean, you hit parts, because when it's flowing out, when you're heading out, you hit current spots. And when you hit the current spots, it's basically describing it as like turbulence on a plane. And it's not fun. Like, who would want to be on a plane all the time when there's turbulence? You'll feel it, and the problem is that the intercoastal is literally turbulence. There's little patches that aren't, but literally the whole thing is turbulence. I was just recently watching one of my videos with the Yamaha GP 1800R, and when you really look closely, you won't realize it, because when you're riding, you don't feel it, but it's to be calm water and you're running, but the whole time the ski's just hopping like this, you know, where you can feel it, like it's not jumping out of the water, it's just moving in the water where it's like this. So you're wondering, is that part of where you're not really feeling it? When you watch it, you could see it, but when you're riding, you're not feeling it. So it has to be the current even making a play with that. I know when I had the RXPX and the RXTX 300s, 2018s, they would go down the intercoastal waterway. One way they'd be going one speed, and the other way going the opposite way, they'd be like 6 to 8 miles per hour slower all the time. And then the GP does the same speed going either direction down the intercoastal waterway, which is pretty shocking and amazing at the same time. So that's something to kind of share with you guys that I'm hoping. And I think thickness too with the back plate, they're the biggest. And yeah, obviously this is the heaviest. So you're gonna put a little weight on, but I think stability is gonna come in play. And I think this too, I was a little pointed right there. I think this is gonna be the ticket. I think when I was researching, I probably should have got them from the start. I purchased this one on eBay because I saw all these people that I talked to racing them. They said they like the R&D. R&D isn't, you can't buy this anymore. Then I figured try the Riva because but I should have gone with JC Racing. I remember looking up. I remember it was confusing because I thought you had to drill into something. I wasn't cool with drilling stuff, not realizing you're just drilling out some rivets. It's not the end of the world. But when I saw you had to drill something, I was a little bit more concerned, realizing it's not as bad as it really is. So I figured to share this. Hope it helps anybody else out with Sponsons for a stand-up. Kawasaki SXR 1500 stand-up jet ski. It's an awesome jet ski. If you haven't ridden a stand-up, definitely ride one first before you spend the money, because it is not for everybody. And there's some people that just love stand-ups. I know it's one of those things, if I sell it, I'm gonna regret it for the rest of my life that I sold it. So, and I've had people hitting me up, like a lot of people, like really like ready to send the money, and I'm like, I'm gonna like, I don't want to sell it now, but I'm hoping this gets it fixed. I'm probably gonna actually take it out and ride it tomorrow. So that's why I want to get this knocked out, do another video. So thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, like I said, hit the subscribe button. Also too, I have I Am Beowulf merch at IamBeowulf.com. Also too, I have an Amazon store that has really cool stuff listed on there. Check that out at Amazon.com/shop/IamBeowulf. Be driven to win. Remember, every day is Earth Day. Be safe out there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, Beowulf Nation.